Hey, this is Jordan Garnett, and you are listening to The Mehworthy Show. This is the first episode, and I will not usually be talking to myself. In the future, I will have co hosts to help me out so I don't sound like a crazy person. So, today, being the first episode, I will explain exactly what's going to happen. Each episode, it seems like, will have its own theme, usually pertaining to something nerds will talk about. But since this is the first episode, I think I'd do something a little special for you guys. So I went on Google and typed in Bob, and that's how I got my random theme for the day. And one of the first things that popped up was Bob Dylan. Now, if you don't know who he is, he's a singer, songwriter, poet, all that other stuff. And I'm not really the biggest fan, but I gotta make fun of him because of some other stuff like his singing style. Just kind of like it irks me so much. I don't know why. The only song of his I like is "The Times They Are a Changing." Okay. Now, I knew who Bob Dylan was growing up, and I come from a long line of people that don't really like his music, but I did know who he was, being the cultured nerd that I am. Now, a lot of nerds were probably, their first time ever knowing who he was probably when the movie Watchmen came out, okay? Now, he has a song in there, right? Blue Long Duck Dongs aside, there was a song called Times They Are A-Changin', and it's in there. So, it's probably the only song I like of his, and it's got a certain ring to it, I guess, and it just blends with his annoying vocals, as I would say. And I gotta wonder what it was like and what it is like in his house. So I put together a special thing for you guys, and this is what I think of how his day will be when he wakes up from a typical morning, which I think he probably gets up really late, like noonish, because of all the hard partying he probably does at night. Probably not, but that's what I imagine. So I've put together this song about him getting up and making himself some lunch. So without further ado, here is Bob Dylan's "Life in the Morning." I'm waking on up inside of my house, and I'm walking around as quiet as a mouse, and I'm accepting that I must eat lunch. So I better hurry up and get to the punch. I'm spreading that mayo across the bread, and I'm not letting it get inside of my head. So I better start eating or I'll be skin and bones, for the time they are a-changing. Yeah, I totally recorded that earlier. So I love that thing. Yeah, so that's kind of how I would think he talks all the time. I don't know, that's just what I think. I actually he has a son who's actually the lead singer to the Wallflowers. It's Jacob Dylan. I think he actually is really awesome. But you got to wonder what it was like for him, growing up. And it's like, he walks up to his dad and he's like, "Dad?" And it's like, "Yes, son, I'm listening to your voice. And I don't really have a choice." And then, he kind of looks down, and then, Jacob looks up and he's like, "I just want to know, Dad, how's your day been?" And then Bob Dylan, just busts out in the song, and he's just like, "I'm doing real great, as you can see. I'm as high as a kite that's stuck in a tree." Okay, yeah, I I recorded that earlier too. Come on, this is new for me. I just want to do something special for you guys. Don't get all ticked off at me. But another thing. What if somebody just came up to him? I mean, I've never heard him actually talk before, so I'm kind of coming into this like an idiot. And I wonder what what if somebody asked him for directions, okay? They're like, "Excuse me, how do I get to the Walmart?" You know, is he just like, first you make a left and then you make a right. Then you go to the highway and drive around at night. It's just, and they're just like, what? I don't know. I really don't have that much to say about Bob Dylan, but I, I don't know. This is just a test podcast, so just don't blame me, okay? So I don't really have that much else to say. I'm trying to make it. Oh, I did. I made it past like 5 minutes. So most of the podcasts will be a little bit longer. There'll be other people talking. It'll be funny. It'll be just a good old time, So I hope you guys come back and aren't totally put off by my awesomeness that I just, put forth in front of you guys. So I'm going to wrap this up for today because I have nothing left to say. This was just kind of something I did on the whim, just to test it out. So I will see you guys later, and next time I will have other people with me. So on behalf of me and my computer, I will say thank you for listening to this inaugural episode of The Mehworthy Show. So I will see you guys later. I'm waking on up inside of my house, and I'm walking around as quiet as a mouse, and I don't remember what I'm supposed to say, 'cause I don't know cause I don't give a damn. I'll take it away.